She treated her brother's best friend like a joke until she realized she loved him. Hello everyone. Before we begin today's story, I have a small favor to ask. Please hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our channel's new videos. It is quick, free, and the best way to support us in bringing you more dramatic stories. Your support means the world to us. Where are you watching from? Drop your city or country in the comments below. Thank you very much. Now, let us return to our main character. The afternoon sun slants through the living room window, landing on a coffee table cluttered with empty mugs and folded laundry. This is where it always starts. Emma Reed leans against the counter, arms crossed, a half smile already forming before she even opens her mouth. Her brother is on the couch with his best friend, and she knows exactly which button to press. "So," Emma says lightly, "did you finally learn how to parallel park, or are you still terrorizing the neighborhood?" The man beside her brother exhales a slow laugh. His name is Lucas Bennett. He has been around for years. Family barbecues, late-night pizza runs, emergency calls when her brother's car would not start. Lucas has heard every version of Emma's teasing, and he has learned to take it without flinching. "Still working on it," he says, calm as ever. "I will let you know when the city issues a warning." Her brother groans and reaches for the television remote. "Can you two not start this again?" Emma grins, satisfied. To her, it is harmless, comfortable, safe. What Emma does not say, what she never says, is that teasing Lucas is easier than telling the truth. It is easier than admitting that the sound of his laugh settles her nerves, or that she notices when he shows up early just to help her carry groceries. Jokes keep things light. Jokes keep her from risking anything real. Later that evening, the three of them step outside. The air smells like cut grass and summer heat. Lucas holds the door open for her, the same small gesture he always makes. Emma bumps his shoulder as she passes. "Careful," she says. "One day someone is going to mistake that politeness for flirting." Lucas pauses, just for a beat. "Would that be so terrible?" She laughs it off too quickly. "With me? Absolutely." He nods, expression unreadable, and changes the subject. Emma does not notice how his hands tighten at his sides. Over the next few weeks, nothing changes, and yet, everything does. Lucas is there when her car battery dies in the grocery store parking lot. He waits with her for 40 minutes in the heat, never once checking his phone. Emma jokes about owing him dinner. He says she already does. She laughs, assuming he is joking too. At a birthday dinner for her brother, Emma raises a glass and makes a playful speech at Lucas's expense. The table erupts in laughter. Lucas smiles, but it does not reach his eyes this time. He leaves early, citing an early morning. That night, Emma lies awake, replaying the moment. The way he looked at her, like he wanted to say something, and chose silence instead. The realization comes quietly, and then, all at once. Emma is not joking because it is fun. She is joking because she is afraid. Afraid that if she stops, Lucas might finally see how much she cares. Afraid that if she tells the truth, she might lose him completely. The next morning, she reaches for her phone, ready to send a message she has never sent before, an honest one. But before she can type a single word, a notification flashes across her screen. Lucas is leaving town. And suddenly, the joke is not funny anymore. The next few days pass more slowly than Emma expects. Lucas does not come by the house anymore. There are no late evening knock and enter moments, no familiar footsteps in the hallway, no calm voice answering her brother from the other room. The silence feels heavier than any argument ever did. Emma tells herself it is nothing. People get busy. Plans change. That is what she has always believed. But then, Thursday comes. She is at work when her brother calls. His voice is distracted, casual in the way people sound when they do not realize they are delivering bad news. "Lucas is heading out of town this weekend," he says. "Job thing. Big opportunity. I thought you knew." Emma grips the edge of the counter. "Out of town, how?" "For a while," her brother replies. "Maybe longer. We grabbed a beer last night. He did not want to make a big deal out of it." After the call ends, Emma stands frozen, staring at the wall behind the register. The sounds of the cafe blur together. Orders are called. Dishes clatter. Someone laughs nearby. Lucas is leaving, and he did not tell her himself. That night, Emma scrolls through old messages. Most of them are jokes, teasing remarks, sarcastic comments followed by laughing emojis she suddenly regrets sending. There's not a single message where she says what she actually feels. She realizes something uncomfortable then. Lucas has always been honest with her. She has been hiding behind humor. Friday evening arrives too quickly. Her brother hosts a small get-together, nothing formal. Just food, a few drinks, familiar faces. Emma almost does not go, but something in her refuses to stay home. Lucas is already there when she arrives. He looks the same, calm, put together, but different somehow, more distant. He smiles when he sees her, polite and warm, but careful. "So," Emma says, leaning against the doorway, forcing the old tone into her voice. "I hear you are abandoning us." Lucas chuckles softly. That is one way to put it. She waits for him to say more. He does not. The room fills with conversation. Someone turns on music. Her brother starts telling a story from college. Emma watches Lucas from across the room, noticing details she always ignored. The way he listens more than he speaks. The way he checks his watch, then stops himself. Later, she corners him near the kitchen. "You could have told me," she says lightly. "I had to hear it secondhand." "I did not think it mattered," Lucas replies. The words sting more than she expects. "Oh," she says, smiling out of habit. "Right, because I am just the joke, remember?" Lucas studies her for a long moment. The noise around them fades. "That is exactly the problem," he says quietly. Emma opens her mouth, ready with another playful remark. But nothing comes out. For the first time, she does not know how to hide. "I always thought you were having fun," he continues. "I told myself not to take it seriously." "And now?" she asks. "And now I am tired of pretending I do not want more." Her heart pounds. This is the moment she has avoided for years. The moment where the jokes no longer protect her. "Lucas," she begins, then stops. He exhales slowly. "I am not angry, Emma. I just needed space. Somewhere new. Somewhere I am not a punchline." The word lands hard. He leaves shortly after that. No argument, no dramatic goodbye, just a quiet exit that feels final. Emma stands alone in the kitchen long after the door closes, the truth settling in with painful clarity. She never meant to hurt him, but by treating him like a joke, she may have already lost him. The morning after Lucas leaves feels wrong in a way Emma cannot explain. The house is too quiet. No footsteps, no familiar voice drifting in from the living room. Even the sunlight feels colder, stretching across the floor without warmth. Emma sits at the kitchen table with a mug of coffee she has not touched, staring at nothing. Her phone lies face up beside her. No message. She tells herself she deserves that. At work, she makes mistakes she never makes. She rings up the wrong orders. She forgets names she has known for years. Her manager asks if she is feeling sick. Emma nods, because it is easier than explaining the ache that will not leave her chest. That night, she walks instead of driving. The neighborhood looks the same, but everything feels altered, like a place she no longer belongs to. She passes the grocery store parking lot where Lucas once waited with her in the heat. She passes the corner where he always slowed down because he knew she hated fast turns. Memory after memory surfaces, sharp and unwanted. She realizes something then. Lucas was never confused about his feelings. She was. Emma stops at a small park and sits on a bench, hands folded tightly in her lap. For the first time, she allows herself to replay every moment without humor, without distance. Every time he showed up, every time he listened, every time he stayed quiet when she teased him in front of others. He was not laughing, he was hoping. The truth lands heavy and undeniable. She is in love with him, not the playful version she pretended it was, not the safe, joking version, the real one, the kind that requires courage. Her phone buzzes in her hand, startling her. For a moment, she thinks it might be him. It is her brother. "Did something happen between you and Lucas?" he asks. Emma swallows. "Why?" "He looked exhausted when he left," her brother says, like he had already said goodbye. That night, Emma opens her message thread with Lucas and scrolls to the very beginning. Years of shared history stare back at her. She types a sentence, deletes it, types again, deleting again. Finally, she writes the one thing she has never said. "I am sorry I treated you like a joke. You were never one to me." She stares at the words, heart pounding, and presses send before fear can stop her. The response does not come right away. Minutes pass, then an hour. Emma lies awake long after midnight, replaying his voice in her mind. The calm tone, the quiet honesty. She wonders if it is already too late. If he has already closed the door she never realized was open. Her phone buzzes just after 1 in the morning. Lucas, I needed time, but I appreciate you saying that. The message is kind, careful, not an invitation. Emma sits up, clutching the phone to her chest. This is not resolution, this is a pause. And for the first time, she understands what is at stake. If she wants him back, jokes will not save her anymore. The days after Emma sends that message feel suspended in midair. Lucas does not disappear completely. He replies when she texts, but the conversations are careful and brief. No teasing, no late-night back and forth. Just polite updates, as if they are relearning how to speak to each other from a distance. Emma tells herself this is progress. It does not feel like it. One evening, her brother mentions Lucas again, almost casually. He starts the new job next week, he says while rinsing a plate in the sink. Big firm, downtown. He is staying nearby for now before things settle. Emma looks up. He is still in town? For a little while, her brother replies. Why? She shakes her head too quickly. No reason. But the truth is, the knowledge changes everything. That night, Emma cannot sleep. She replays Lucas's message over and over. I needed time, but I appreciate you saying that. The words are gentle, but distant. They sound like someone standing halfway out the door. By the next afternoon, she makes a decision she has never made before. She stops joking. Emma texts him once more, her fingers steady this time. Would you meet me for coffee tomorrow? Just to talk. The reply comes faster than she expects. Lucas. All right. They meet at a small cafe near the park, a place they have passed 100 times but never entered together. Emma arrives early. She sits with her hands wrapped around a paper cup, heart racing in a way no joke could calm. When Lucas walks in, she stands automatically. He looks tired, but calmer than before. He gives her a small smile. Hi, he says. Hi, she replies. They sit across from each other, the space between them unfamiliar. Emma waits for the urge to tease him, to lighten the moment. It does not come. I wanted to apologize properly, she says. Not as a joke, not as something casual. Lucas listens without interrupting. I did not realize how much I was hiding, she continues. Every time I teased you, it was easier than admitting I cared. I thought keeping things light meant keeping them safe. And now, he asks quietly. And now I see that I was wrong. The silence that follows is not uncomfortable. It is honest. I never needed you to be perfect, Lucas says after a moment. I just needed to know I mattered. You did, Emma says. You still do. He studies her face, searching for humor that does not come. When he finds only sincerity, something shifts. I am not leaving because of you, he says, but I was tired of feeling invisible. I see you, she says, and I am done pretending otherwise. They talk for over an hour, about the past, about the things they avoided saying, about how easily comfort can become a shield. When they finally stand to leave, nothing is resolved, but something is no longer broken. As they step outside, Lucas pauses. I cannot promise anything, he says. Not yet. I am not asking for promises, Emma replies. Just honesty. He nods. For the first time in years, Emma watches him walk away without reaching for humor to protect herself. She does not know where this path leads, but she knows she is finally walking it for real. The shift between Emma and Lucas is subtle at first, almost easy to miss. They begin meeting occasionally. Coffee turns into quiet walks. Short conversations stretch a little longer each time. There is no flirting, no teasing, just honesty, steady and unfamiliar, like learning a new language. Emma notices the difference immediately. Lucas listens the same way he always has, but now he speaks more, about his new job, about the pressure he feels starting over, about the fear of getting something right and still losing it. She does not interrupt. She does not deflect with humor. She lets the silences stay where they land. One evening, they sit on a low stone wall near the park as the sun drops behind the trees. The air is warm, the kind that carries the sound of distant traffic and laughter from somewhere far away. "I almost did not take this job," Lucas admits. Emma turns toward him. "Why?" "Because leaving felt easier than staying hopeful," he says, "and I was tired of hoping." The words settle between them. Emma understands then that this is not just about her. This is about years of being steady for everyone else, of being the reliable one, the one who never asks for more. "I never meant to make you feel small," she says quietly. "I know," Lucas replies, "but intention does not always change impact." She nods. This time she does not argue. As weeks pass, something grows between them. Not romance, not yet. Something more fragile. Trust. But just as Emma begins to believe they are finding their way back to each other, reality intrudes. Her brother invites them both to a small celebration dinner. Nothing formal, just family and close friends. Emma hesitates before going, but Lucas agrees. The night is easy at first. Laughter fills the room. Plates are passed around. Someone brings up an old story, and without thinking, Emma smiles and adds a light remark at Lucas's expense. It is harmless, mild, almost affectionate. But Lucas stiffens. The room continues around them, unaware. Emma sees it immediately. The familiar reflex, the old pattern slipping back in without permission. Later, Lucas pulls her aside. "I thought we were past that," he says, not angry, just tired. Emma feels the weight of it crash down. "I did not mean it that way." "I know," he replies, "but it still feels the same." The realization hurts more than any argument could. Change is not a moment, it is a discipline. "I am trying," she says, voice unsteady. "So am I," Lucas says, "but I cannot do this halfway." That night, Emma goes home alone. The progress she thought she had made suddenly feels fragile, like it could shatter with one careless word. She sits on her bed, staring at the ceiling, understanding something new. Loving someone is not just about saying the right thing once. It is about choosing differently every time it would be easier not to. And for the first time, Emma wonders if love will require her to risk losing Lucas all over again. The invitation arrives on a Tuesday afternoon. Emma recognizes the name immediately. It is the annual downtown charity gala her brother's company supports every year. Formal, public, the kind of event where conversations are polished and emotions are kept neatly contained. Lucas is listed as a guest. Her brother mentions it over dinner, unaware of the weight his words carry. Lucas helped organize part of it through his new firm. He said you might come. Emma nods slowly. Her chest tightens. She almost declines, almost convinces herself that avoiding another misstep is safer than facing one more chance to fail. But something inside her refuses to hide again. The night of the gala arrives crisp and clear. Emma steps into the venue, feeling exposed in a way jokes used to protect her from. The room glows with soft lights and quiet confidence. Laughter drifts through the air. Glasses clink. Names are exchanged. She spots Lucas near the center of the room. He looks different here. Not distant, not guarded, focused, comfortable in a way she has never seen before. People greet him with respect. He listens, responds, moves easily through conversations. For the first time, Emma sees him without the familiar frame of her teasing. She watches as her brother claps Lucas on the shoulder and introduces him to someone important. The pride in her brother's voice is unmistakable. Lucas glances up and sees her. Their eyes meet. The room seems to narrow around that single moment. Emma approaches slowly, heart pounding. "Hi," she says. "Hi," Lucas replies. They stand side by side as the host steps onto the stage. A microphone hums softly. "And now," the host says, "I would like to recognize someone who played a key role in bringing tonight together. Someone whose dedication and quiet leadership made all of this possible." Emma feels it before she understands it. "Please join me in thanking Lucas Bennett." Applause fills the room. Lucas steps forward, surprised but composed. Emma watches him under the lights, suddenly aware of how long she has misunderstood him. Not just as a friend, as a person. When he speaks, his voice is steady. He thanks the team. He deflects praise. He speaks about commitment and showing up when it matters. The words land hard. Afterward, guests crowd around him. Emma waits, unsure whether to approach. When the space clears, Lucas turns to her. "I did not know you would come," he says. "I am glad I did," she replies. "I think I needed to see this." "See what?" "Who you are," she says honestly, "without my jokes in the way." They step onto the balcony for air. The city hums below them. "I owe you something," Emma says, voice quiet but firm. Not an apology, an acknowledgement. Lucas looks at her, attentive. "I treated you like a joke because I was afraid of taking you seriously," she continues. "Afraid that if I did, I would lose you. But pretending cost me more than honesty ever could." Lucas exhales slowly. "I spent a long time wondering if I mattered to you." "You always did," Emma says. "I just never knew how to show it without hiding." The silence that follows is heavy, but not hostile. "I cannot go back to how things were," Lucas says at last. "I would not ask you to," Emma replies. "I am asking if we can move forward without pretending." He studies her face, searching for deflection that does not come. "For the first time," he says, "it feels like you mean that." Emma nods. "I do." The city lights shimmer below them as the truth settles in. This is the reveal she never expected. Not of wealth, not of status, but of love she almost lost by laughing it away. The shift after the gala is undeniable, but it is not smooth. For a few days, Emma feels hopeful. Lucas texts more often, not constantly, but thoughtfully. Simple messages, checking in, sharing small details about his day. It feels like movement in the right direction. Then, the doubts begin to surface. Emma hears it first from someone else. She is at work when a coworker leans over the counter, lowering her voice. "Is your brother still friends with Lucas Bennett? I heard he might be relocating again. Something about a permanent position." Emma's stomach tightens. "Relocating where?" "Out of state, I think," the coworker says. "Big opportunity. Serious step up." The words echo in her head long after the conversation ends. That evening, Emma meets Lucas for dinner. The restaurant is casual, familiar, the kind of place where she would normally feel at ease. Tonight, the air feels heavier. They talk about ordinary things at first. His work, her schedule, the weather. The effort feels deliberate, like both of them are avoiding the same subject. Finally, Emma sets her fork down. "Are you leaving?" she asks. Lucas does not answer right away. He looks at her, then out the window, as if measuring how much truth the moment can hold. "I was offered a position," he says carefully. "It would mean moving." Emma nods slowly. "And you did not think to tell me?" "I did not know how," Lucas replies, "or whether it was my place." The familiar ache returns, sharp and unwelcome. "I thought we agreed on honesty," she says. "We did," he says, "but honesty does not mean certainty." The tension rises between them, thick and unresolved. Emma leans back in her chair. "I cannot go through this again, Lucas. I cannot keep guessing where I stand." Lucas meets her gaze, expression serious. "And I cannot stay somewhere I feel like I am waiting to be chosen." The words cut deep. "I am choosing you," Emma says, voice trembling. "I am here." "But only now," Lucas replies, "after I nearly walked away." Silence stretches between them, heavy with everything unsaid. Emma realizes something painful then. Love does not erase damage. It asks you to face it. "I cannot undo the past," she says quietly, "but I am trying to show you the present." Lucas exhales slowly. "I know, but I need to know if this is real, or if the moment passes and the jokes come back." Emma feels the weight of his fear, the same fear she has been carrying. "I cannot promise perfection," she says, "but I can promise I will not hide anymore." Lucas looks down at his hands. "I need time to decide." The words feel final, even if they are not meant to be. They leave the restaurant separately that night. Emma walks home under streetlights that feel too bright, replaying every word. She understands now that love has reached its breaking point. This is no longer about teasing or misunderstandings. This is about choice. And by the time she reaches her door, Emma knows something with terrifying clarity. If she does not fight for Lucas openly and without fear, she will lose him for good. Emma does not sleep that night. She lies awake, staring at the ceiling, listening to the quiet rhythm of the house. Every joke she ever made replays in her mind, stripped of humor, reduced to avoidance. For the first time, she does not try to defend herself. She lets the truth sit where it hurts. By morning, her decision is clear. If Lucas needs certainty, then she will stop asking him to wait and start showing him she is ready. Emma takes the day off work. She drives to the one place that holds the most memories of him, the small park near the cafe, the same bench where she once admitted, even if only to herself, that she was in love with him. She sits there for hours, rehearsing nothing, no jokes, no clever lines, just honesty. Late in the afternoon, her phone buzzes, a message from Lucas. I am heading to the office to finish paperwork. I will be busy tonight. Emma stares at the screen, then types. I know. I am not asking for time. I just need you to listen, one last time. There is a pause that feels endless, then a reply. All right. She finds him where she expects. His office building stands quiet as evening settles in. Lucas is already waiting outside when she arrives, jacket folded over his arm, expression cautious. You did not have to come all this way, he says. I did, Emma replies. They walk in silence toward the park across the street. The same bench, the same view. Nothing about the setting has changed, only them. Emma stops and turns to face him. I am not here to convince you to stay, she says. I am here to tell you the truth without protecting myself. Lucas does not interrupt. I treated you like a joke because I was afraid of what it would mean if I took you seriously, she continues. I thought humor kept things safe. What it really did was keep you at a distance. Her voice does not shake. She does not soften the words. I am in love with you, she says. Not the easy version, the inconvenient one, the one that asks me to be brave. Lucas exhales slowly, eyes fixed on hers. I am not asking you to give up your opportunity, Emma adds. I am asking you to know that if you leave, it will not be because you were invisible to me. It will be because you chose something else, and I will respect that. The air between them feels heavy, charged with truth. Lucas looks away, then back at her. This is different, he says quietly. It is, Emma replies, because I am different. He studies her face, searching for humor that does not appear, for deflection that never comes. This is what I needed, Lucas says at last. Not a promise, not pressure, just honesty. They sit down together on the bench, shoulders nearly touching. I do not know what I am going to choose yet, he admits, but I know this matters. Emma nods. That is enough. For the first time since this began, she feels steady. Whatever happens next will not be built on fear or laughter used as armor. As they stand to leave, Lucas pauses. Thank you, he says, for showing up. Emma meets his gaze, calm and open. I should have done it a long time ago. They part ways again that night, but this time feels different. Not like an ending, like a turning point. The decision does not come immediately. Days pass. Then a week. Emma goes back to her routines, but something inside her has shifted. She no longer reaches for humor to fill silence. She no longer rehearses conversations that never happen. Whatever Lucas chooses, she knows she finally showed up as herself. One evening, her brother calls her into the living room. Lucas stopped by earlier, he says. He asked if you would be home tonight. Emma's heart stutters. Did he say why? Her brother smiles in a way that tells her everything. He said he wanted to talk. Properly. The knock comes just after sunset. Emma opens the door, and there he is. Lucas looks the same, and somehow entirely different. Calm. Certain. Like someone who has finished a difficult conversation with himself. They stand there for a moment, neither of them speaking. I turned down the position, Lucas says gently. Emma blinks. You did not have to do that. I know, he replies. This is not about staying or leaving. It is about where I want to build something real. She steps aside, and he comes in. They sit on the couch, close but not touching, the space between them filled with everything they have survived. I realized something after that night, Lucas continues. I was afraid too, afraid that if I stayed, I would fall back into waiting. But what you did changed that. I did not do it to make you stay, Emma says. I know, he says. That is why it mattered. He turns to face her fully. I do not want to be your safe joke anymore, and I do not want you to hide behind one. Emma meets his gaze. I do not want to hide ever again. Lucas reaches into his jacket and pulls out a folded piece of paper. It is not a contract, not a grand gesture, just a simple note he wrote to himself. It says, he explains, choose the place where you are seen. Emma feels tears rise, but she does not laugh them away. I see you, she says. And I see you, Lucas replies. This time, when he leans in, there is no hesitation. The kiss is quiet, unremarkable to anyone else. To them, it feels like a promise finally spoken aloud. Later that night, they walk together through the neighborhood. Past the park, past the cafe, past all the places where things almost went wrong. Emma squeezes his hand. You know, she says softly, I used to think loving you meant keeping things light. Lucas smiles. And I used to think loving you meant staying quiet. They stop beneath a streetlight, the glow soft and forgiving. Turns out, Emma continues, love is neither. Lucas nods. It is choosing each other without armor. Emma laughs then, not as a shield, but as herself. They do not know what the future holds. They do not pretend it will be easy, but they walk forward together, no longer hiding behind jokes or silence. Sometimes, the greatest mistake is not saying the wrong thing. It is laughing when you should have spoken. And sometimes, love waits patiently until you are brave enough to stop pretending.